Hey everyone, in this video we want to talk about the directions for your final subject evaluation and recommendation. So at this point you are either have done several or probably have already finished all of your individual subject evaluations. So you looked at forms 1 through 15. And so this is kind of the end of that. This would be kind of an example of you've worked with someone for a while, you've learned a lot of information, and maybe they're moving on to the next thing or whatever that looks like. And so you're giving them this final recommendation, kind of summarizing everything up and giving them kind of a little packet that gives all this information in one. So feel free to use some of the things that you've already done. It should be a little bit more extensive, put a little bit more together, but some of the things you've learned from your other evaluations, definitely don't just throw that out and start over. You can utilize those things. And so what you're going to do is you're going to create kind of a final report, if you want to call it, for your subject that you've been working with their information all semester long. And so you're going to take what you've learned and we're going to kind of put it together from those forms 1 through 15 and their kind of overall evaluation. And you're going to give recommendations on ways for them to improve their health or continue to do the things that they're doing well. And so make sure that you touch on all the aspects of their health. They should all be discussed that you've looked at this semester. So where they're strong, but also where they need improvement. Giving them kudos where that's due, and then telling them, hey, you need to improve here to get this a little bit better. But even in the strong things, there are probably recommendations for them to be able to keep at it, or different ways to change it up, or things for them to consider. And so you're going to take everything you've learned in this course, but also in your other courses, and kind of give that final evaluation, but also recommendations for their health. We're just trying to give that as this overall picture, this kind of summary document for them. Realize this should be professional and be as approached as if you were going to give it to the subject. So think about as you're writing it up, again, professional. I need the detail to make sure you know what you're talking about, but at the same time, it should be something that you could give it to this subject if you were to meet them. So where it could be presented to them, they could understand the information, that it flows well, that it's clear. All of those things need to apply. So just like you'd give them. Just like your other evaluations, there's no formal structure. There's no formatted of this structure that it has to be this. So you get to be a little bit creative, do what kind of works for you and learn from that. But you can still include things like your tables, your charts, your links. There definitely should be text in there kind of describing that. Anything that helps to convey the importance and gives them resources to be able to change that behavior and be successful. The biggest thing I want to make sure that you recommend kind of for this final report is that when you're giving recommendations for certain things, remember that you are not yet, some of you will be as you go on in your careers, but you're not yet qualified to give very specific information. So we're dealing with a lot through this semester. So whether that's exercise or nutrition or drug use and stress and things like that. And so we want to make sure that when we're giving recommendations, that you're sticking to widely accepted information. And so that may be a little bit confusing. So I wanted to give an example. So an example would be when it comes to nutrition. Let's say that I, for example, maybe don't eat a lot of fruits and vegetables. And so you want to convey that I need to maybe work on my diet a little bit, and you want to give some recommendations. Well, what you shouldn't do is give me a detailed eating plan on what I should be eating each day, maybe even the timing of that meal, because you're not a registered dietitian. And so that could set you up for some legal issues later on, or be something that just wouldn't go in your favor as you move forward. So you wouldn't want to give me a detailed eating plan of what I should eat every single day. But what you can do is stick to general information that is widely accepted, such as from the website myplate.gov. Typically, if you've taken just one nutrition course, that's kind of the information given in there, but some of you may have taken more and know more. And so you just want to be careful with that on what you're recommending. So anything that kind of probably was taught to you in elementary school, high school, middle school, those kinds of things would be safe when it came to nutrition. Telling me how many servings of vegetables I should be striving for each day, or giving me strategies, maybe start with one each day, and then after a few weeks, maybe move that up to two. Those things are fine. So general statements, but you don't want to go into specifics. Same thing when it comes to exercise. Um, some of you actually might be okay to prescribe exercise. Maybe you're a personal trainer and could do that, and you could list that in your form and let me know if you want to do that kind of thing. Or you can stick to broader kind of topics of saying you should be doing it this many days a week, and make sure you get days in between rest. So an example would be working out, lifting weights on Tuesday and Thursday, and making sure that you're working out these big muscle groups. And here are some examples of those exercises. Same thing when it comes to drug use, like pointing them to people who could help them is great, giving those strategies of the people you surround yourself with, but you shouldn't be telling them to how to wean themselves off tobacco or something along those lines. So this should be a pretty extensive report. It'll be kind of the end of your semester project, if you want to call it that. It should give plenty of detail. It definitely should put work into this, but it also shouldn't be terribly hard because you've been working with this information throughout the semester and kind of have an idea of what this person is and what it looks like, even have some base information. We're now just trying to put it all together and come up with recommendations across the board, and trying to put everything in together and use different strategies along with that to help you, to help this person improve their health. There is a rubric that you can access. I believe it's going to let me show it. Let's see. If you go to the next thing, there's a Dropbox that you'll submit this in. Let's see if, and so right here, when yours will look a little bit different, but you should be able to see this final subject evaluation rubric. It kind of looks for some of the things that I'm looking at. But if you need any more guidance, any more help with that, please email me. And I am happy to assist you and try to answer your questions any further. So hopefully this assignment is making sense and you're getting this feeling of how you can help yourself, but also others, to develop strategies for healthy living and how you can go about that. So thanks so much, and we will talk to you guys later.